Hello, my name is Emma, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make a friendship bracelet. I'll be teaching you how to make the most basic kind of bracelet, the kind with just diagonal stripes. To make a bracelet, you'll need a few things. First, you'll want to get 4 to 6 different colors of string. You can use more or less, but the more you use, the thicker your bracelet will be and the longer it'll take to make. And with less than 4, your bracelet will be extremely small and fragile, so 4 to 6 is a good number to start out with. The string you use to make the bracelets is usually called embroidery floss or craft thread, and it can be found at most basic craft stores like AC Moore or Michaels or something. Next, you'll need some tape. This will be used to hold down the bracelet as you make it. I recommend getting more heavy-duty tape since it holds the bracelet down better, but it doesn't really matter. You'll also need some kind of ruler to measure the string out with before you cut it. And to cut the strings, you'll need scissors. Lastly, you'll need a flat surface to make the bracelet on. With all of these supplies, you're ready to make your bracelet. First, select the colors you want to use for your bracelet. Again, 4 to 6 is a good number to start out with, and for this video, I'll be using 4. Next, you'll want to grab your ruler to measure the strings out before you cut them. For most bracelets, you'll probably use about 24 inches of string. For this video, I'm going to be making a half-size bracelet, so I'm only going to use 12. But when you make real bracelets, you'll want to use 24. If you're making a bracelet for someone with a smaller wrist, like a child, 20 will probably be enough. But for the average person, 24 inches of string will be good. Once you measure out the 24 inches of string, cut it from the container and set it off to the side. Then you'll want to repeat this process for each color of string. When you finish, you should have 4 to 6 pieces of colored string that are about 24 inches long. And if they're not all equal, don't worry, because in this case, perfection isn't important. You're going to tie them all together and you're not going to be able to tell when the bracelet's on anyway. The next step is to tie all the strings together in a knot. You'll want the knot to be about an inch or so down the string, because this is what you're going to use to tie the bracelet onto your wrist later. After this, arrange the strings in the order you want them in your bracelet. For example, if you want the strings to go red, blue, and yellow, then you'll have to put them in that order now. Tape down the knot, spread out the strings, and now you're ready to start making your bracelet. First, you'll need to pick up the string that's all the way to the left and tie it in a knot onto the string on the right of it. We'll call this string 1. Make sure you're putting the first string over the second string when you're tying, and every time you tie a knot, you'll want to tie a double knot to make the bracelet more secure. Next, tie string 1 to string 3 using the same over method. You'll keep doing this until the string that used to be all the way onto the left, for string 1, is now all the way to the right. Then, repeat this process on the second, third, and then fourth strings. Pick up string 2, tie to string 3, and then tie a double knot. You'll want to do this over and over again until the last string is tied to the first string. After this, you'll want to put a piece of tape over what you've tied so far. This is so the bracelet doesn't start moving up and down when you're tying it. You can tape your bracelet down whenever you feel that the moving of the string starts to become annoying, but the taping isn't really what's important, so you can tape as little or as much as you want. For the rest of the bracelet, you'll basically repeat this process over and over and over again until you run out of string. Every time, you'll start by tying the leftmost string onto the string next to it and continuing with that string all the way down the line. This process will usually take an hour or 2 depending on the size of your bracelet. When you have an inch or so of string left, or when it starts getting harder to tie the knots, this means that you're at the end of your bracelet. At this point, you'll want to grab the ends of the strings and tie them into a knot similar to what you did with the top. Now you're done! You can tie the bracelet on yourself, give it to a friend, or even make a copy so you and a friend can have a matching one. Besides tying the knots over the strings and always tying double knots, most of the steps in this tutorial don't have to be exactly as I do it. So don't stress and just have fun.